There are far too many difficult and painful stories of guardianship abuse, often from people who did not require a guardianship in the first place. No American should have their rights unnecessarily stripped from them. Harrowing tales were sent to this committee of rights being taken away by a single stroke of a pen in the name of guardianship. There are a number of Hoosiers who shared their personal experiences with me. I thank you all for submitting your statements. Gave me a lot to go on in terms of what we need to emphasize here in this hearing. Heard from the sister of Navy veteran Jimmy Johnston, who said that a court-ordered guardianship ultimately led to her brother's death. While she had been designated his health care surrogate, the professional guardian was appointed to make life or death medical decisions for Jimmy without prior medical knowledge or family history. After Jimmy's death, his family received a hospital bill of nearly $1.2 million. $1.2 million. Nearly all of it was billed to Medicare. That's unacceptable. Guardianship is supposed to mean protection, not that. When done correctly, it's a valuable tool to protect vulnerable people. But as so many stories have shown us, it can also lead to exploitation and abuse. We must empower states with the tools and resources they need to protect and empower their most vulnerable residents. Indiana has been an innovative laboratory on guardianship in recent years. It created a guardianship registry to improve data. 2019, Indiana passed a supported decision-making law to expand options for people who need a protective arrangement. This gives Hoosiers in need the chance to pick support that works best for them. And when we do this state by state, we're using the laboratories in this country in terms of how to do it best across the country. Indiana's Volunteer Advocates for Seniors or Incapacitated Adults program connects volunteer guardians focused on personal autonomy to Hoosiers without support or protection. These volunteers step in when they get calls from adult protective services, nursing homes, or even banks alerting them to an incapacitated person who has no one else to look after their affairs. Sarah Walker is the director of Southern Indiana Adult Guardianship Services. She is a self-described old soul who traces her love of working with older adults to her love for her own grandparents. Sarah and her team work across 5 counties in small-town USA to help Hoosiers be as independent as possible. They assisted one client struggling with drug use to find help and a better living arrangement. Now they are working to restore her rights. Hoosiers continue to show us how states can solve these issues. The Adult Guardianship Office is managing these innovative services. It works with the courts and stakeholders to find practical solutions for local issues in the guardianship system. Our role is to remove barriers in states' ways, not add to them. I am introducing the Guardianship Grant Flexibility Act with Chairman Casey to remove barriers by making federal guardianship grants more flexible. This bill would allow states to recruit and train law students to represent respondents in guardianship cases and to serve as guardians ad litem. Law students interested in protecting the rights of older adults should not be held back by arbitrary federal interference. This is a common sense reform to give states more tools to protect people in need. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record a letter of support for this bill by the Elder Justice Coalition.
Without objection.
I look forward to hearing more about common sense steps we can take to strike the right balance between protection and freedom. And I look forward to hearing how states can learn more from each other on the issue. I yield back.